You got to be so proud of this. You're getting the Kennedy Center honor.
Very grateful.
First hip-hop artist to get that.
Very grateful.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I mean, that's huge.
No, I'm really grateful. You know, everything I do, you know, in my career, I try to, you know, represent hip-hop culture and continue to carry the torch for hip-hop culture. So, you know, this is a beautiful thing, and I'm glad I can, you know, kick down the door for the rest of the guys and girls, and we can have some fun.
Yeah.
Some hip-hop.
So I guess the president will not be there. This is unusual, because usually the president is there.
Yeah. I'm glad that he decided not to attend, because it would have been a distraction, and it would have been more about, you know, who's standing next to who, and less about the actual art form and the hip-hop that I worked my heart out over these years to, you know, do what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? So I'm glad about that. I'm glad I could just go out there and it's about the music and the culture, and not about a bunch of politics and, you know, stuff.
And actually receive the award and take that in.
Yeah, I want to receive the award, because it would have been tough for me. You know, I don't know if I would have been able to, you know, be a part of that. And you know, that whole situation, look, everybody feels the way they feel about it, but, you know, at the end of the day, for me, it's going to be about the art. I'm not, you know, nobody hired me to be, you know, their political activist savior. You know, I'm just going to focus on the music, focus on hip-hop, and that's what I'm there for. So I'm not feeding into that. I'm not feeding the machine.
Good.
You know what I mean?
Good. I'm proud of you. So your wife threw you a party for this?
Yeah.
Was it a big party?
It was a huge party.
Was it a surprise?
It was beyond a surprise, because I walked in and everybody said surprise, and I was like, I'm not 60 yet. Like, why are we, you know, why am I having a surprise party already? And then all of a sudden, I found out it was for the Kennedy Center honors.
Yeah.
But what I will say about this whole, the atmosphere in America right now is that, you know, as a country, I think it's very important that we be able to trust our leaders, and I think it's important that we see love in one another, and that we get unified. And I think that the only place where we can really connect is spiritually. You know, it's about prayer. I'm not talking about inaction. I'm not talking about empty prayer. But I'm saying we need to connect on a spiritual level as a nation and get to know each other again. Because if you remember the sentiment after 9/11, we couldn't be closer. Mm-hmm. If everybody in this country would think about what the atmosphere was like directly the day after or after 9/11. When you saw me and I saw you, we connected. When you looked in my eyes and I looked in your eyes, we knew that we were part of the same country. And somewhere along the line, we've kind of forgotten about that and got into this kind of guerrilla approach to politics, and this divide that has been created is actually absurd, because we're one country. And you know what? If some foreign boots hit the ground, you'd be surprised how quickly we'd all be friends again. Mm-hmm. So, you know, that's, you know, my feelings on that. Because what I don't want to do is make it about bashing anybody. Mm-hmm. You know, people have the right to feel what they want to feel. You know, you want to be a Republican, you want to be a Democrat, you want to be an independent, you want to be Christian, you want to be Muslim, you know, whether you're trans, you're bi, you're gay, whatever your life is, that's your life. Those are your choices. You have the right to make those choices. But we just have to remember that this is one country. And the thing about America is that the difference between America and a lot of other places is that, like, we come from all over the world here. America is a melting pot. Some of us ended up here because of different reasons, different circumstances. I get all of that. But at the end of the day, we are all in this one American fish tank together. So I think we need to remember that.
Yeah. I agree. I will add that we are one planet. We are one world.
Yes.
And we need to understand that we cannot mess around with this world. This is the only place we all have to live.
That's right.
So it is not just, to me, not just America, it is the world, and we need to respect one another and take care of our planet, ourselves.